Good morning. Hi. My name is Dr. Andrew Michaels, and I'm here to help you. Today, we're going to talk about self-inducing a tingles effect. Okay? Now, a lot of people have been asking me, how to achieve that. One way I've always been able to achieve self-inducing ASMR effects is by holding a pencil out or a pen, some kind of object, until it starts to double in my vision. There's two pencils, not one. It's like I was looking into another dimension, another world. You can almost touch, almost see. And I can feel the tingles if I concentrate, going up my spine, across my scalp, through my mind, through my mind. When I was a child, I would do this all the time. I did it in school, and my parents were worried I was going to have vision problems, so they took me to the eye doctor. I was probably in second or third grade. The eye doctor probably not understanding what ASMR was, what I was trying to convey, or what I was trying to do, checked my eyes and said they were fine, and don't do that. Don't do whatever that thing is you're doing with your eyes. That's wrong, it's bad. And I thought I was doing something wrong. And it put me off of it for a long time until I got older. But because I loved getting ASMR effects, I had to invent new ones, discover new ones. And this was one I discovered. This. And I know people, even recently, who told me that they have it too. You take a pencil, or even your finger, and you go down your arm, your leg, your back, as lightly as you can, barely touching, barely touching the tactile reaction of your skin. Almost like creating goosebumps, but there's no goosebumps on my skin right now. It's not sexual. It's not sensual. And it's not tickling. It's an ASMR effect. It's self-inducing. I can feel it. I can feel it in my mind. Down my scalp. Down my spine. And there's nothing wrong with that. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. You've committed no crime. It's your body. And you're just enjoying it. Now, one arm is more sensitive than the other. Take that one step further, and it's a little dangerous, especially with a sharp pencil like this. cautious, be careful. But there's a third way, and this is the ultimate way. The edge of the nose. So many nerve endings. So many tiny microscopic hairs. So many nerves tracing the inside of your eye, right at the edge of your eye. I would sit in class and do this for the whole entire period, bored out of my mind. So far ahead on my studies, not even caring what the teacher said. I know there's those of you watching right now. See me at the very edge of my eye. Do you see me? Do you see me? Careful across the eyelashes. It's hard to concentrate. The ripples going through my spine, scalp. It is that intense. Practicing doing ASMR professionally since 2014. I've kept it fresh. I've never lost my tingles like so many people. By always switching up, changing artists. When I see this artist excelling and this one receding, I know what's happening. You become old news. People get bored with you. This is the new thing. This is the excitement. And I think it's okay. It's okay for this one to be more popular now and this one to recede. But I'm going to teach you a trick. You. A trick. Yeah, that's right. You. Out there watching. I love the artists like the classics. Gentle whispers. Calming escapes. Queen of Serene. Whispers Unicorn. Massage ASMR. Yeah, they're all great. They're all great. And I store a lot of their videos in a favorites file on YouTube, a playlist. Right there. I know somebody might think this is erogenous or has a sexual component. But this is ASMR in its purest form. The tickle of the tiny stubbles of hair under my nose. The tickling. The waves of euphoria tracing the edges of my face, the outlines of my face. Try this with a sharp, very sharp pencil or a thin rod. There's something about the graphite, the lead, the neck, just behind the ear, just behind the ear. There's something about this. It's not erotic. It's not sexual. This is pure, personal, self-induced ASMR. Do you see me? See the reaction, the ripples, the grand Just with the eye, be careful. Trace it. Trace it out. My ear thumping. I can hear my heartbeat. I can feel my heartbeat. I can feel the blood coursing up the arteries in my neck. And when you hit that spot, you pet it. Here it is on me. You know when you pet a dog and its leg lifts? A perfect little spot. I remember someone noticing me doing it. They were getting ASMR from watching me when I was a student, middle school and high school, doing this across my chest. Yeah. I've only done one side of my face. I could do my other side, but this feels so good I don't want to stop. I don't do this often because it puts me in a zone when I'm stressed out. Need to concentrate. All the hairs on my neck, the stubble. I take the pencil and I run it down the side of my face, the outline of my cheekbone, the edge of my mouth. And I am back. Time stands still for me. I am in the moment. I am Dr. Andrew Michaels, time traveler. When I say that, I'm not lying. I never lied to you. I never lied. I could stay in this moment, right here, and time stops for me. And I could stay in this moment forever. Above the eye, the eyelid, the skin above the eye, below the eyelash. My vitamin drink. Something to keep an old man going. So you have your playlist with all the classic artists, and you say, I'm bored, I lost my tingles. But that's not true. Your body has adjusted to it. Much as this doesn't work, you move to a new area. This quits working, move to a new area. Quits working, move to a new area. Quits working, move to a new area. I'm teaching you now. You do know I'm always teaching you, right? Always teaching. When you love people and you love society and you want to make it better, you don't tear it down. You build it up. And you teach others to do the same. And when you're stressed and you need a helping hand, pick up a pencil or a thin rod and try this. There's something about the graphite, something about the connection to the carbon at the end of the pencil. And the waves go up through my spine. And you can even reset. This is resetting. You can reset all the nerves. This is quite wild, all the nerves exploding at once. It's amazing. And you can start all over again, the exact same spots. But when you get bored with these artists over here, the trick is to go find new artists over here. And that's okay. Now here's an old dog who relies on his channel telling you it's okay to go here and explore and discover new artists. And all of your ASMR tingles will be new again. At least they should be. Okay. Now once they start getting repetitive and boring, what do? You go to a new spot. You go back to your classics. So you have your old classics playlist. And you go back to that towel folding demonstration that Maria did ages ago. And you put your new artists in here, your Tingle Smiths, your ASMR Gems, the new generation of fantastic artists. I've discovered some new ones, and they're so new I don't remember their names. But one is Natalie ASMR, young lady doing Reiki movements. Oh, and that young man. Who's that young man that does ASMR? That's a Reiki master. Oh. I can never remember Calming Escape's name. I do now. It took me years. And I love her to death. She's a sweetheart. This guy, who is he? This new kid. He's not, everybody's a kid to me. He does Reiki. I don't have my phone. He has these colorful black backgrounds. He does the most fantastic Reiki movements. I promise I'm going to put his link right below. But I watch a lot of artists. And I love watching the old classics, like I said. And I'll go through Rapunzel and the wonderful Hermetic Kitten. She's so talented. And Bright Gray Eyes. And there's so many. And, Dr. T's a good classic. And ASMR Power of Sound. And there's many good male artists. And then there's the fabulous live performing artist, Nicholas. Oh my God, watching Nicholas do live ASMR with his audience and interacting with them. My God, it's like heaven. And I tell you all these things because what's old can become new again by going in and discovering new artists, keeping ASMR fresh, keeping the waves of ASMR fresh, the nerve endings, the pathways through your brain and your nervous system, keeping them connected, keeping your body in focus and in sync. it allows you to see that other world beyond our existence. In my last video, in case you didn't see it, I told the origin of my channel name. And in doing so, I went all the way back to the beginning, 2008, and I found an old playlist of mine of unintentional ASMR. And I watched a lot of those videos, and it was like watching them brand new all over again. And I highly suggest you give that some thought. There's nothing wrong with going back to the classics, your favorites, and revisit them. And one more thing, one of my favorite videos, even though I have watched many of her videos, but as silly as it is, Maria had this towel folding demonstration, and I loved it. And it was a wonderful video. That's Gentle Whispers. And I used to watch it religiously every day. And of course, as I discovered new artists like Calming Escapes and Whispers Unicorn would come out with a new video. She was really great back then. I would watch those instead. And I had a horrible phobia. Well, I'll finish on Maria. I watched her towel folding demonstration and recently, and it was like a brand new video to me. In 2020, I think she did that. There was a loud bang in it, and somebody in her audience cut that out, and she re-uploaded it. And I thought, this is going somewhere. ASMR is going to catch on when your audience is correcting mistakes in your video, and you're willing to upload them in corrected form. I said, there's an interaction here with the audience. This is incredible. And I wanted to be a part of it. And that video really kind of, when she reloaded it, corrected by her audience member, whoever did it at the time, it really triggered something in my mind that this is bigger than, this is big. This is interaction with your audience on a different level. And I really admired her for that, for uploading it again corrected to make a better experience for her audience. And I really admired and respected her. And then one of my closest friends, Blue Whispers, was just starting out, and it's kind of hard to do because I'm on my cell phone, but Gentle Whispers did a video, and she held up a cell phone or an iPad or something, and she showed what she was watching, and she was watching my friend Blue Whispers, and it just blew her channel up overnight. And I always admired Maria for doing that. And the reason I'm even mentioning any of this is I hardly watch her videos anymore because of what a lot of people complain about, that they get stagnant with the old artists. Well, I watch all these new artists, and then I went back to the old ones, and I watched this wonderful video by Maria where she did other towel folding tutorials, and I was so thrilled. I didn't even know she did that because so much time had gone by. And I just wanted to come on here and tell you, don't give up on your favorite artists. Everything old can be new again when you give it some time. And maybe if you give things time and learn how to live in the moment, you can become a time traveler too. Just like me. And I also want to tell another story. This is personal. I have a horrible phobia about piercings in people's faces and tattoos. They elicit a phobia response in me, and I am telling all of you this because I want to tell you how ASMR helped me specifically. I have actual revulsion towards tattoos. I don't want to look at them, and I can't help it. It's an unnatural phobia response. I have a phobia of snakes too, and it's not quite the same level of shock and utter loss of control and dignity when you see a snake, but I find myself looking down and away from somebody with tattoos or piercings in their face, and I was ashamed of myself. I was very ashamed of myself. Some of my best friends have piercings in their face, and I was ashamed of myself for having a problem with it. And it wasn't that I didn't like it or that I'm against tattoos or piercings. I mean, I probably could have a tattoo on my arm or my back, and it's not the idea of the tattoo or to get a tattoo. It's the fact that I just can't look at it. I can look at tattoos, but for some reason, especially on women, it just has a weird effect on me. It even bothers me to talk about it even now. But then something happened, and this is how life works. My oldest son, fell in love with a wonderful young lady who had many face piercings and tattoos. And I was shocked because I was afraid it would come out and she would think I didn't like her. And I love my daughter. She's my daughter, not my daughter-in-law. She's my daughter. She married my son. She's my daughter. And I wanted my daughter to know that I loved her very much as her father, stepdad, or father-in-law, whatever, and that she's part of my family. And there was a video by the great classic artist, Whispers Unicorn, and I know all you know her, and she showed all the tattoos on her arms, her legs, her body, and she was showing them, and it was really weird. For me it was. To her, it was just a cute video. To me, it was not painful, but incredibly hard for me to watch, to actually physically watch, without putting my head down or turning away or closing my eyes. It almost is like revulsion is the word I use, but I'm not revolted by somebody with a tattoo, but it's like a reaction. And forgive me, I swear to God, I'm working on it. I am. On my kids' heads, I swear I'm working on it, okay? And I'm not like that as much anymore. It's a trigger. It's just something in my mind that turns me. And I love and respect everyone, and this is a silly thing. Why would I not respect people and their right to do whatever? I have to get over this. So I watched Whispers Unicorn's video on her showing her tattoos. And I have to tell you, I was able to watch the video. First time, right through to the end. And this is the part Whispers Unicorn might find fascinating or find silly. I got ASMR from her video about her tattoos. And the feeling of getting ASMR while being respectful and accepting and allowing myself to relax and look at this situation helped me get over that phobia for the most part. And I want to thank her for that. I get in a position where I'm weirded out again by tattoos. something triggers that phobic reaction in me, that phobia, I stop what I'm doing, I go back, and I watch that Whispers Unicorn classic video. I know it's silly. This is just me. This is my experience. Maybe you have an experience like this too. But this is my story. And maybe ASMR can help you. And I go back and watch that video of Whispers Unicorn showing her Harry Potter tattoo and the one on her leg, and it's really sweet. And I relax again, and I realize everybody's different, which I know that, but I have to tell my brain that. I have to tell that caveman instinct that's blocking me to stop it. And I've never admitted on camera or film about this thing with piercings and tattoos and how bad it really is. I mentioned it once in an interview, but not like this. And I was able to get over it to the point where I think, I mean, you could debate it. I think I'm a good father-in-law, and I think I'm very loving and respectful of my son and his marriage, and we love his wife so much. She's our daughter. That's it. And that's something that ASMR did to help me. And maybe there's stories like that you can tell. I'd love to hear them in the comments section. I'd love to hear your witness to this and what has helped you and not helped you. The reason I felt like telling you is because this video I did a long time ago, and it was always requested, and I always wanted to do a new one. And I thought, well, only a small part of my audience maybe wants to see it again. And I thought, you know what? What's wrong with going back to the basics? Back to the beginning. And taking something old. Something old. And making it new again. And when we get bored with that, we'll go back to the classics. A lot of people are watching my new stuff that's more experimental and saying, I wish you would go back to the old stuff. Well, here I am. I'm doing something old again, making it new. So if you really like that, you have to be supportive of it. And we'll keep it real, and we'll keep it new, and we'll keep bringing back the old, just for you. You. And that's what I love about ASMR. Someone requested that silly video for Whispers Unicorn, and it helped me. She interacted with her audience. It was because of her audience she made that video on the bathroom floor of her apartment, and it was so adorable, so sweet, and so intimate. And because of all those things, and because she loved her audience and worked with them, it reached me and helped me get over a phobia that could have caused problems in my life, and helped me become a better person. I know it's silly, but not all of us go through life without needing a helping hand, and even I need a helping hand and need to be reminded that I'm only human, and I need that help once in a while. And I'm grateful for it, and I hope if Whispers Unicorn ever sees this, she knows how much I truly care about her as a friend. We've talked a few times, but we're not super close, but she's very gracious and very kind to me, and I know she's a loving mother. And I bring all these things up because she is a wonderful person, and that's what ASMR is about. It brings out the beautiful parts of us, the best parts of us. And just like with Whispers Unicorn, Maria's classic towel folding video, showed me how interactive she was with her audience. How ASMR just wasn't some silly niche market, but actually people reaching out, working with their audience, building a community, building a better world. And I wanted to be a part of that. And when I kind of put all that together, I started doing this channel, and I was a faceless ASMRtist at first. Just seeing how it goes, feeling it out. And I wanted to develop a character. And I walked into the bathroom and I said, well, who are you? You're middle-aged, receding hairline, a little flabby around the middle. Who are you? How are you going to present yourself to these people? And I said, you look like a middle-aged government bureaucrat, which is funny. I actually work for the state of Ohio, so I'm a government employee. I really am. You look like a middle-aged bureaucrat pensioner putting your time in until you can retire. And I said, that's me. And that's when I invented the character Dr. Andrew Michaels and brought him to life for you. And you could trace everything I did back to those young ladies that started before me and led the way. And believe it or not, I was inspired by the female artists. Most of all, Maria, Whispers Unicorn, Calming Escape, were probably my top three. One that quit called Relaxing Role Plays was my absolute favorite. I liked Queen of Serene, and of course Lauren Ostrowski-Fenton was an actual friend of mine at the time and a huge inspiration to me. And one of the big things about Lauren was she was like a doctor, and she had the mantra, do no harm. And I wanted to change who I was and do no harm. And I know there's always going to be little things back and forth between people and artists. But on the whole, I have changed as a person, and I'm happy for who I am. And paying respect to those that came before me is as important as what I'm going to do in the future. So once again, I pay respect to the past. I keep it fresh and keep it in my mind. But I put it aside and I start doing new. And when I need to be reminded of who I am and where I came from, I go back. I travel in time back. And all of that, at least to me, becomes new again. And that's how I keep going. That's how I've always kept going. And I hope I helped you too. And I hope I taught you something today. And I also hope that if you put a sharp pencil up to your eye, you're gentle, careful, and practice safety. And I want to end this by saying, thank you for joining me today. Till I see all of you again, please have a most blessed day. And one more thing. I want you to know that Dr. Andrew Michaels loves you. I love you. I really do. I even love that guy who keeps requesting the Ghost Rider video. He's alright. Stay tuned for that soon. Shh, don't tell him. Shh. You know I put that in there just to see if he's watching. Bye-bye, everyone.